Well, I'll give you the TLDR of my little run at Genesis. My very first match, I played against a Game & Watch player. I did pretty good. I beat him up. And then I played against a very campy Pac-Man player. Fine. I mean, he was just camping while getting his ass beat the whole time. I don't know why he was so passionate about making it take as long as he possibly could. Next person I had to play was Big Stu. Is someone I was familiar with. It was a Kazuya from Hawaii. A little bit stressful. I don't think I dropped a game.
Think again.
I played him in doubles earlier, actually the day before. I pinpointed some habits that I thought would be a thing in singles, and they were. He liked spot dodging, he liked rolling. And then the next person I had to play was KNB, which is a Japanese Diddy Kong. He was very good. He kind of whipped my ass, I won't lie. It was 3-0. Fast forward to losers, and that's where this stuff started to happen. I know you can't really see what's going on. I made like a top 3 ZSS video the other day. And by the other day, I mean like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, talking about some of the best Zero Suit players that aren't me. And Shu was like a potential for number 3 in that spot, but I chose not to go with her. But she's still pretty good. Okay, so I know that she also plays a little bit of Mario. She also plays a little bit of Diddy Kong. So I was like, okay, what are we doing here? Are we getting counterpicked, or are we actually running this Ditto? Surprisingly to me, she actually decided to run the Ditto, which, if you guys don't know this about me, I've only ever dropped like 1 game in the ZSS Ditto. Throughout the entirety of Ultimate's lifespan. Game 1 was like a little bit scary. I actually got Nair flip kicked like pretty early because I died like a stupid idiot. Slowly started making a comeback, and then I knew right here, so she did a forward throw, and I just teched in place. I knew I was a super low percent, so I couldn't get Nair flip kicked even if she had the rage to do so. So I let the Nair hit me, and then I just watched her kick over me, which if this kick did connect and spike, I would have lost this game and gotten 2 stock. I know Zero Suit fucking sucks ass, so I just killed and punished for it. And then just played solid for the rest of the game, and I ended up taking it. This is game 1. ZSS beats ZSS 80-20, right? Yeah. Game 2 is honestly just kind of an ass whooping. I just played better. I had adapted to Shu's play style. It was a pretty convincing 2 stock. Yeah, I had 26% on my second stock. Oh, Zare Bear. It was a bit of a body bag that second game. Because I'm raw and a person, after game 1, I decided to ban PS2 after winning on it. So a lot of people think like banning in the Ditto is like stupid. I don't think so at all. I know that in my heart of hearts, that I am a scrapper. The only way that I would lose, struggle, is that if I got cheesed. I banned PS2 and I think Battlefield just so I didn't get laddered. I knew that with my fundies and skill, I would just outplay her. And then game 3, she went Diddy Kong. That's mid. It's a counterpick Diddy Kong. Not a very great Diddy Kong. It was a humble low percent 1 stock, and that was my first loser set. I had to fight Gact. I have played Gact 1 time, way back in the beginning. One of the better Ness players in the world, and I don't think he's very good versus Zero Suit, I gotta say. I kind of did some crazy to win some games. The 2 things you really need to care about in this matchup, first and foremost, is forward air. Zero Suit loves air to air. You can't air to air when it comes to Ness forward air. Another thing that you really have to worry about is the PK fires, especially like on those platforms. They really, really like to do landing PK fire on the platform because it doesn't have a lot of lag. And PK fire is high reward. So low risk, high reward, it's just something that they're going to do a lot of, something to watch out for. Low risk, high reward just sounds like all the top tiers. Ness must be a top tier, dude. Yeah. I, in general, don't really like this matchup just because it's very hard to avoid trading when you're juggling with Ness. You have to play, like, mostly neutral versus Ness, which I don't want to do. Crowd is loud. I want to say this was when Zane versus Rat Monster was happening. Ness is definitely pretty good. He's alright, yeah. Yo, can we talk about how fucked up that is? What did I do wrong? With 2 F-tilts, stuffing the approaches? I thought this was a great idea. Look, I'm right up against the ledge. I'm literally pushing up against the ledge, but then when Zero Suit kicks, she just like launches herself forward and just makes it so I can't grab the ledge. It's so stupid. I went through like a small phase of struggling against Ness, but I think I'm over it now. I kind of remembered how to play the matchup. I played. He got shimmy down smash. Can ZSS do much about Ness once he's in the PK Thunder? It's kind of scary because, like, when you're edge guarding with Zero Suit, a lot of the time you rely a lot on rising aerials And if you do a rising aerial and like you just like trade with the thunder for some reason, you just lose your double jump and you're usually pretty deep at that point and you just die. It's hard to really mess with. You have to just know how to do it and experiment with it if you want to learn how. Yeah, Gact will now be turning the mash on. Check this shit out. Oh, it's the next edge guard. Thank you, Zerusu. Thank you so much. He's got no double jump, right? Just trying to keep him cornered. Ness without stage control is a doo-doo ass character. Tell me that wasn't raw. Honestly, this is a new development in the matchup for a little last stock scenario. Am I really Mars if I'm not going for suicide, risk it all options? Imagine that didn't kill. I would have punched Gact in the face right there. Bro's trolling. He just did an up throw. That's optimal, to be honest. I mean, yeah, in that situation, it's definitely optimal. Yeah, I'm still getting like forward aired way too much for my liking. I think it's definitely an adjustment I could have made to do better. Despite, you know, telling myself that forward air is like, you know, I guess the lose condition in this case. I still got hit by it a lot. Because he forward airs in weird ways. I think that little shield there kind of showed I was getting used to it. Whoop! I think I would have died to that forward smash. I am a troglodyte. How am I getting hit by that? What year is it that I'm air dodging into PK Thunder 2? Triple roll. Oh my god. Keep me off the sticks. Back throw. There. Dude, I was going to say double jump paralyzer and god. Seriously, it sucks. So predictable. I honestly, every time I input down B, I never think to kick. I don't know. It's just not in my know-how. Just because, like, I don't know, it's so laggy, and if you miss it, it sucks ass, and you can usually just get a punish otherwise. Boom! What a terrible, terrible recovery. That was like, if he just went low, he would have been fine. He just doesn't respect Zair. I think that is Gact's biggest problem in this matchup, is that he just doesn't even look at Zair. You both been rolling, great heavens. Hey man, rolling is good versus both of these characters, so. And you know what? ZSS got a really good forward roll. One of the best in the game. Her back roll, though, one of the worst in the game. 2 F tilts. Grab. True combo. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Nice forward out the corner. Oh, back air city. Yo, look at my spacing. Holy. To be honest, that is exactly what my Ness would do in Elite Smash. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I do now, I guess. Also, how I played advantage here was really important. I'm going to point it out once we get there. How does he let this happen twice in a row? It's hard to avoid, dude. All right, this right here is pretty important. So I already have ledge get up forward air on my mind. There's two things I care about. Is him jumping over me and him rolling through me. I shield after this down smash because I want to play defensively and I want to make sure more than anything else is that he stays cornered. Getting reversaled is worst case scenario because then I'm in the corner and that sucks ass versus Ness. So I pop the shield up. I see the jump get up. I lock in that it's a forward air. So now technically the best option for me to do here would be a rising forward air, but I don't got, I mean, he could have kept fading in and I wouldn't have been able to react. So I did up air just to make sure that he didn't get past me. And, you know, if it hits, he's above me and now he's getting juggled. Forward air had a chance to miss if he kept holding in. I didn't fade forward at all with this up air to chase because I did not want to give up the stage control. It ends up paying off. I get this nair on shield. He drops shield. I get the jab, push him a little deeper. Forward air is a dog shit move. There you go. Stage control versus Ness is very, very important. Caught him mashing. Ooh. Mars watching himself play. That was raw, and that was raw, and that was raw. Yeah, that Nair flip kick, like, low-key should have won me the game, but I don't even remember how I sell this. Okay, that was advantage state played by a kindergartner. Nice. Zaire spaced by a kindergartner. Nice. That boy is mashing kill moves. Look at him. Okay. The F tilt was designed to stop his dash in, but he just back aired early and it caught me. So I was thinking, what stages do I realistically want to go to? Smashville has this ass layout. Is also a really small stage. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, Hollow Bastion is just bigger Smashville, so maybe that's a better choice. Right? The only thing that sucks is that he can do that PK fire ledge cancel if I'm on this side of the stage, if I'm on this side of the stage, and like staying under the platform and like holding my ground versus Ness can be a little challenging at times, especially if he has like a platform to like do aerials off of and stuff. No sane Zero Suit Samus player would go to FD. There's no platforms. ZSS loves platform. Guess what I did? You thought I wouldn't pick it. You need these platforms more than I do, young man. I'm not cheeser. Dude, I'm not a cheeser. FD? How am I a cheeser? Sometimes you just gotta say my fundies are better and pick FD. Yeah. Part of what makes Ness very annoying in top level play, outside of PK Fire, obviously, is the fact that whenever he does aerials, he's got a platform to round on. And he can land on it to end his moves earlier, and it makes it harder to juggle him, and it makes like full hop rising aerials safer. Now that there are no platforms, any dumbass full hop rising aerials will be punished. So help me God. I went FD. I was like, this should be fine. Honestly, I am comfortable on FD. I play it more than I think any other Zero Suit Samus player that has probably ever touched this game and entered a tournament. Yeah, see, even Gact is like acting a little bit more disciplined when it comes to doing aerials out of the corner there. Nice little side beat for a stonk lead. There are no other ZSS players. That's true. They're all dead. Back throw, Zaire. He does double jump magnet shenanigans for really no reason. He gets binked. He loses his jump. I dash attack him so he keeps not having his jump. I up angle F tilt, anticipating him to continue mashing. He gets pushed further off stage. He actually still has a double jump. He landed on that air dodge, but he still decided to up B there for some reason. I don't know what he was cooking. I just reacted and kicked him. He goes for another mid-range up B. I don't really know why. Just go low. Zero Suit can't do anything if you go low. But yeah, he got pushed off a little farther off stage and he died at a humble 65 for his troubles. All right, we've now entered the range where I can like pretty comfortably like down air him off stage. If I can push him far enough, I should be getting a little bit more aggressive when it comes to off stage stuff. And just keep punishing him for mashing, really. That's the goal here. He wants to do a lot of forward airs. He wants to keep calling out my jumps. I will absolutely take every 7% jab that I can. Yeah, he overshot there, and this is just dead. Yeah. So delay on the jab, very nice. So I think what he wanted to do was the thing he'd been doing the entirety of the set. A lot of Ness players like to do this, where they will park themselves right here, then just do like a PK Thunder, loop it over and hit you. But I think if you space it as poorly as he did, you just get low angle F tilted. I don't think that it's guaranteed to hit, but whatever. Go side, like I try to go deep to force his air dodge. I try to just jump over him and line up a down air, but I don't really have a good down air angle here. Honestly, I probably did, but I didn't feel like I did in the moment. So I just tried to go under him and do another up B. The up B ends up getting hit by the PK Thunder 2, but I am absolutely okay with that because if you guys don't live under a rock, then you know that if Ness hits you with PK Thunder 2, it cuts his distance in half, and he can't even make it to the ledge or the wall, so he can't bounce. And he's dead. To wrap up my run at Genesis, I then had to play loser of Shuton and Wrath. I had to play Wrath, which is somebody I had gone game 5 with before. I got 3-0'd this time, and it's entirely my fault. I was kind of experimenting a little bit more in the matchup because, I mean, I don't know the Sonic matchup at that level, and I don't practice. So any theories that I have about the matchup end up happening in bracket. And it looks like me getting 3-0'd is the repercussions for those actions. So I know that, like, a lot of how Sonic succeeds in neutral is just getting up airs and throws under platforms. So I decided to, instead of playing under platforms, I would play next to the platforms instead, to make sure that if I did get hit, that I wouldn't take 50 or 60 or die, you know? I tried doing that, and then I was kind of realizing that wasn't really working, because even if, like, Sonic grabs you next to a platform, like, he can still be like a character, like a ZSS character length away from the platform, and still convert into more up airs and like back airs and game one was very close, and I should have won. I was kind of up at first. I started slowing it down. There was 40 seconds left on the clock, maybe less, and I had like, I don't know, like a 50+% lead. I was very comfortable with where I was. Percents kept moving around. I think I was at like 110. He was at like 120. And then I got hit by a spin dash, and I know how to do survival DI for spin dash. And I up and I DI'd out, and then he forward aired me, and then I lost the game. And then the next two games were just kind of me playing impatient, not practicing like stuff that I had wanted to do or try, and I was playing a little too fast, so I got destroyed for the next two games. I was definitely getting frustrated with spin dash, bro. I would try to dash attack him for charging spin charge, like doing spin dash on ledge, and he would just invincible. Bink. Oh, back air at 90. Oh, you're dead. And I'd be like, all right, well, I guess, bro. So there you go. That was my run at Genesis. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next Genesis. Peace out.